Welcome to Daily Listening English. Improve your English every day through simple and enjoyable listening practice. Let's begin.
Hello, my friend. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine that every day is like a blank canvas. In your hand, you are holding a brush. That brush is your choice. Every morning, when you wake up, you begin to paint your day. The things you do, the decisions you make, and the way you think and act, these are the colors you use. So the question is simple. What are you creating today? Maybe you don't always think about life this way. Maybe your day feels automatic. You wake up, check your phone, go to work, feel tired, and repeat the same routine again and again. But even in those quiet moments, you are still making choices. You are still painting something. Many people ask me, Jack, what is the secret to success? And they expect a big answer. Something complicated. Something that needs special talent, perfect timing, or a lot of money. But the truth is much simpler than that. Many years ago, I heard something from a wise man, and I have never forgotten it. He said, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And failure is simply a few small mistakes repeated every day. Think about that carefully. The difference between success and failure is not always talent. It is not always luck. It is not only about who you know. Very often, it is about what you do again and again in your daily life. For example, one person wakes up and spends 1 hour learning something useful. Another person wakes up and spends 1 hour scrolling on their phone. The time is the same, but the result is different. One small choice, repeated every day, can create a completely different future. This is how life really works. Not only in big moments, but in daily actions. And today, I want to share 10 simple disciplines with you. 10 things you can practice every day. Not once a week. Not only when you feel motivated, but every day. Because the person you become is built one day at a time. So, let's begin. The first thing you need to improve every day is your attitude. I know some of you may think, attitude? That sounds very basic. Everyone talks about it. And that is true. Many people talk about attitude. But let me ask you something. If attitude is so simple, why do so many people still lose opportunities because of it? The reason is very simple. Attitude is invisible. You cannot see it like you see money, skills, or results. But people can feel it. When you walk into a room, people feel your energy. When you speak, people feel your mindset. Even before you say anything, people already have a feeling about you. For example, imagine two people going to a job interview. One person walks in with confidence, stays calm, and tries their best, even if their English is not perfect. The other person feels nervous, keeps thinking, I am not good enough, and speaks with fear. Even if they have the same skills, the result will be very different. Why? Because of attitude. When I started Alibaba, I went to 35 investors to ask for money. 34 of them said no. Some of them were not polite. Some of them laughed. Some told me my idea would never work. And I want to be honest with you. That was not easy. There were moments when I felt tired, when I felt doubt, when I wanted to stop. But I made one important decision very early. I decided that other people's opinions would not decide my future. I listened, I learned, but I did not let their words control me. That is what attitude really means. It is not pretending that everything is okay. It is not ignoring problems. It is choosing how you respond to those problems. In your daily life, this happens all the time. Maybe you make a mistake at work. Maybe you cannot speak English well in a conversation. Maybe someone corrects you and you feel embarrassed. In that moment, you have two choices. You can think, I am not good enough, and stop trying. You can think, this is a chance to improve and continue. So here is something very simple you can start today. Every time something goes wrong, ask yourself one question. What can I learn from this? Not, why is this happening to me? Not, who is wrong? Just ask, what can I learn? For example, if you forget a word in English, don't feel bad. Ask, what word did I need? Then learn it. If you make a mistake, don't stop. Say it again, better. If someone gives you feedback, don't take it as an attack. Take it as information. This one small habit can slowly change your attitude. And when your attitude changes, your actions change. When your actions change, your results will change too. That is how real growth begins. The second thing you must work on every day is your communication. And I want to tell you something that many people don't really understand. Communication is not about talking more. It is about listening better. Most people think that if they speak well, they are good communicators. But in real life, the best communicators are not the ones who talk the most. They are the ones who listen the best. Think about your last conversation. When someone was talking to you, what were you doing? Were you really listening, or were you thinking about what to say next? Many people don't notice this, but they are not listening. They are just waiting for their turn to speak. Real listening is different. It means you give your full attention. You look at the person. You don't check your phone. You don't interrupt. And you try to understand not only the words, but also the feeling behind the words. For example, if someone says, I'm tired, they may not only mean they are physically tired. Maybe they are stressed. Maybe they are worried. A good listener tries to understand that deeper meaning. This is a skill. And the good news is you can practice it every day. In any conversation, try this simple habit. When the other person finishes speaking, don't answer immediately. Wait for 2 seconds. Just stay quiet for a moment. At first, it may feel strange. You may feel like you need to speak quickly. But when you wait, something interesting happens. You understand more, you think more clearly, and your answer becomes better. Also, the other person feels something important. They feel respected. They feel heard. And in today's world, this is very rare. Many people talk, but very few people truly listen. When people feel understood, they trust you more. They open up more. Your relationships become stronger. Whether it is with your friends, your family, or your work, communication becomes easier and more natural. This is why listening is more powerful than talking. So practice this every day. One conversation at a time. One small pause at a time. Because people don't follow the person who talks the most. They follow the person who makes them feel understood. The third thing is the one that separates people who succeed from people who only dream, is self-discipline. But I want to explain this in a very simple and honest way, because many people misunderstand it. Most people think discipline means using willpower. They think it means forcing yourself to do things even when you don't want to. They imagine waking up early, pushing hard, and fighting against their own feelings every day. But this way does not work for long. Willpower is like energy. You have a limited amount each day. Maybe on Monday, you feel strong and motivated. You wake up early, you study, you feel proud, but after a few days, you feel tired. You start to say, just today, I will skip. Then one day becomes 2 days, and slowly the habit disappears. This happens to many people, not because they are lazy, but because they rely only on willpower. Real discipline is different. It is not about force. It is about design. It means you create a system in your life that makes the right action easy and natural. For example, if you want to practice English every day, don't wait until you feel motivated. Instead, prepare your environment. Before you sleep, put your phone next to your bed with your English app already open. So when you wake up, you don't need to think. You don't need to decide. You just open your phone and start. This is what removing friction means. You make it easy to begin, because starting is the hardest part. Another example. If you want to read more, don't say, I will read 1 book this week. That sounds big and difficult. Instead, say, I will read 1 page. Just 1 page. That feels easy. And when something feels easy, you are more likely to do it. This is very important. Start so small that it feels almost too easy. 5 minutes of practice, 1 short sentence, 1 small action. Because when you repeat a small action every day, it becomes a habit. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation. You don't need willpower. You just do it. That is the level you want with your habits. A small action done every day is much more powerful than a big action done once in a while. Many people study English for 2 hours one day and then stop for a week. That does not work, but 5 minutes every day can change everything. So remember this idea. Discipline is not about pushing harder. It is about making things easier to start and easier to repeat. Self-discipline is like a muscle. You don't start by lifting heavy weight. You start small and you build strength over time. If you stay consistent, even with small steps, you will become stronger than you think. The 4th thing you must work on every day is your relationships. And I mean all of them, your friends, your family, your coworkers, and the people you learn from. This is very important because no one succeeds alone. Every successful person you see has people around them who support them, guide them, and grow with them. But here is the problem. Many people only think about relationships when they need something. They call someone when they want help. They send a message when they need a favor. And even if they don't say it directly, people can feel it. They can feel when they are only being used, not truly valued. So the real discipline is different. You need to invest in relationships before you need anything. This means you show care even when there is no reason, no benefit, no reward. For example, you can send a simple message like, Hi, I was thinking about you today. I hope you are doing well. Or, Congratulations, I saw your success. I'm really happy for you. These messages are small, but they mean a lot. They show that you care as a person, not just when you need help. You can also do this in daily life. When you talk to someone, give them your full attention. Listen carefully. Don't look at your phone. Don't rush. Just be present. This builds trust over time. These small actions only take a few minutes, but they create something very powerful. They build trust. they build respect, and they build real connections that last. This is much stronger than simple networking or collecting contacts. So here is a simple habit you can start today. Every day, reach out to one person, not to ask for anything, just to connect. It can be a message, a short call, or even a simple thank you. The fifth discipline is your mindset, and more specifically, how you think about your own abilities. This is very important because the way you see yourself will decide what you try and what you avoid in life. Many people have a story in their mind about their limits. They say things like, I am not good with technology, I am bad with money, I cannot speak confidently, or English is too difficult for me. These thoughts feel very real. They feel like facts. But in most cases, they are not facts. They are just stories we created from past experiences. For example, maybe you tried to speak English before and someone laughed at you. Or you made a mistake in front of others and felt embarrassed. That one moment stays in your mind. And slowly you start to believe, I am not good at English. But one experience does not define your ability. It only shows where you were at that time. I want to share something from my own life. I applied to Harvard many times, and I was rejected again and again. If I had told myself, this means I am not capable, I would have stopped trying. But I did not see it that way. I saw each rejection as information. It showed me that there was a gap between where I was and where I wanted to be. And a gap can be improved. A gap can be worked on. It is not a final limit. This is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset says, this is who I am and I cannot change. A growth mindset says, this is where I am now, but I can improve. You can see this in daily life. When someone believes I am bad at English, they stop speaking. They avoid practice. They stay silent. But when someone believes I am learning English, they try more. They speak more. And because they speak more, they improve faster. So here is something very simple you can do every day. Find one belief you have about yourself that is limiting you. Just one. Then ask yourself a question. Is this really true? Or is this just something I started to believe after one or two bad experiences? For example, instead of saying, I cannot speak English, change it to, I am learning to speak English. Instead of saying, I am not confident, say, I am practicing confidence. These small changes may look simple, but they change how you think, and that changes how you act. And over time, your actions will change your results. So don't treat your thoughts as facts. Question them, improve them, and choose beliefs that help you grow, not beliefs that keep you small. The sixth discipline is time management. And I want to tell you a simple but difficult truth about time. You have exactly the same 24 hours in a day as every successful person you admire. Not more, not less. So the difference is not time. The difference is how you use that time. Many people say, I am very busy. They wake up early, they work all day, and they feel tired at night. But even after many days or many months, nothing really changes in their life. They are busy, but they are not moving forward. This happens because they spend their time on things that are not important. For example, they check their phone many times a day. They reply to messages that are not urgent. They watch videos scroll social media, or do small tasks that feel productive but do not create real progress. These things are easy and comfortable, but they don't help you grow. There is also another problem. Many people spend their time doing what other people want, not what they truly need. They say yes to everything. They follow other people's priorities, and they forget their own goals. So at the end of the day, they feel busy but not satisfied. So here is a simple exercise you can try. At the end of each day, ask yourself one question. What did I do today that actually moved my life forward? Not how busy you were, not how many things you finished, but what really helped you improve your future. Maybe it is learning a new skill, practicing English, reading something useful, or working on an important project. If your answer is nothing, don't feel bad. That is not failure. That is information. It shows you what needs to change tomorrow. Now, let's talk about what to do in the morning. Before you start your day, choose one important thing. Just one. Ask yourself, if I finish this one thing today, will it make a real difference in my life? It can be something simple, like studying English for 30 minutes, finishing one lesson, or practicing speaking. It can also be something related to your work or your personal goal. The important rule is this: do that one thing first, before checking your phone, before answering emails, before doing small tasks. Because once your day starts, it is very easy to get distracted. When you complete that one important task, you already made progress. Even if the rest of your day is busy, you know you did something that matters. If you do this every day, one important task in the morning, your life will slowly change. One day may not feel big, but many days together create real results. This simple discipline can change your week, your month, and your year. It is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters most. The seventh discipline is knowledge, and more importantly, the decision to never stop learning. This is something that changed my life completely. When I was young, I did not have the same opportunities as many other people. I could not easily afford a good education. I failed my university entrance exam more than once. After I graduated, I applied for many jobs, but I was rejected again and again. Even simple jobs. I was rejected from KFC while other people were accepted. At that time, it was easy to think, maybe I am not good enough. But instead of stopping, I made a different decision. I decided that I would continue learning by myself. Every day, I did not wait for a teacher or a school. I started reading books. I asked questions. I listened to people who had more experience than me. And most importantly, I learned from my mistakes. I did not run away from failure. I tried to understand it. From this experience, I learned something very important. School can give you a foundation. It can teach you basic knowledge. But your real growth comes from what you learn by yourself. Self-education is what builds your future. Think about your daily life. Today, you have access to so much information. You can watch videos, read articles, listen to podcasts, or talk to people online. You don't need a classroom to learn anymore. But many people don't use these opportunities. They spend hours on their phone, but they don't learn anything useful. So the question is not, do you have access to knowledge? The real question is, are you using it? You don't need to learn something big every day. Keep it simple. Read one short article. Learn one new word. Watch one useful video. Or have one meaningful conversation. Even 10 or 15 minutes is enough. For example, if you are learning English, you can listen to a short podcast, repeat a few sentences, or learn 5 new words. If you are interested in business, you can read one idea and think about how to use it. These small actions may feel simple, but they are building your future. Now imagine this. If you learn just one new thing every day, in 1 year, you will learn more than 300 new things. In 10 years, that is thousands of ideas, skills, and experiences. That kind of knowledge becomes part of you. Nobody can take it away from you. This is the power of continuous learning. It is slow, but it is strong. So make a decision. Never stop learning. Not because someone tells you to, but because you want to grow. And start today. Learn one small thing. That is enough. The 8th discipline is your finances. And I want to talk about this in a simple and honest way. Many people feel that money advice is only for people who already have a lot of money. But this is not true. This is for people who are just starting. Maybe you feel like your income is small. Maybe you think, I don't earn enough to save. Or, what difference does a small amount make? This is a very common way of thinking. But here's the truth. At the beginning, the amount is not the most important thing. The habit is, if you save a small amount, like $10 or $50 a month, it may not look like much. But you are not just saving money. You are building a habit. You are teaching yourself to manage your money with intention. Think about 2 people. One person earns a small amount but saves a little every month. The other person earns more but spends everything. After some time, who is in a better position? The first person, because they have control. They understand their money. They have discipline. This is very important. When your income grows in the future, your habits stay the same. If you learn to manage a small amount well, you will know how to manage a bigger amount later. But if you spend everything now, you will also spend everything when you earn more. You can see this in real life. Many people earn more money, but they still feel broke. Why? Because their habits did not change. So don't wait until you have more money. Start with what you have today. Here is a simple exercise. For 1 week, track your money. Write down everything you spend. It can be coffee, food, transport, anything. Don't judge yourself. Don't feel bad. Just observe. At the end of the week, look at your spending. You may be surprised. You will start to see patterns. Maybe you spend more than you thought. Maybe there are small things you can change. The 9th discipline is personal development, which means making a daily decision to become a better version of yourself. This sounds simple, but I want to be honest with you. Real personal growth is not comfortable. It is often difficult, and sometimes it feels slow. When you try to improve yourself, you start to see things about yourself that you don't like. Maybe you see that you are not disciplined. Maybe you avoid difficult tasks. Maybe you feel nervous when you speak English or try something new. Facing these things is not easy, but this is where real change begins. Sometimes growth also means listening to feedback from other people, and not all feedback feels good. Someone may tell you that your English is not clear, or that you need more practice. This can feel uncomfortable, but if you accept it and learn from it, you improve faster. There is also something important called the gap. This is the space between who you are now and who you want to become. For example, maybe you want to speak English confidently, but right now you still feel shy. That space in the middle can feel frustrating. Many people don't like this feeling, so they stop trying and go back to what feels easy and familiar. But if you stay in that space and continue practicing, something slowly changes. You improve. You become more confident. And one day, you realize you are not the same person anymore. Your current life is the result of your past habits, your past thoughts, and your past choices. And your future will be the result of what you start doing today. So don't try to change everything at once. Just focus on one small improvement each day. And the 10th discipline is gratitude. I saved this for last because I believe it is the foundation of everything else. At first, gratitude may sound simple. Some people even think it is not important. It sounds like something nice to say, but not something powerful. But I want you to understand this clearly. Gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a way to train your mind. Think about your daily life. Some days you wake up and immediately check your phone. You see messages, news, problems, and stress. Your day starts with pressure. But imagine a different start. You wake up, and before doing anything, you take a moment to think about what is good in your life. Maybe you think about your family. Maybe you think about a small success yesterday. Maybe you think about the fact that you have the chance to learn and improve. This small moment changes your mindset. When your mind is calm and positive, you make better decisions. You speak more clearly. You feel more confident. Even when problems come, you handle them better. That is why gratitude is powerful. It is not just about feeling good. It helps you think better and act better. So here is a simple practice you can do every day. In the morning, before you check your phone, take 2 minutes. Think about 3 things you are grateful for. But don't be general. Be specific. Don't just say, I am grateful for my life. Say, I am grateful for my friend who helped me yesterday. Don't just say, I am grateful for my job. Say, I am grateful that I learned something new at work yesterday. When you are specific, your brain understands it more deeply. It feels real. You can also do this at night. Before you sleep, think about one good thing that happened during the day. Even if the day was difficult, there is always something small. Over time, this habit changes how you see your life. You stop focusing only on problems. You start to see progress. And this gives you energy to keep going. So don't ignore gratitude. Use it as a tool. Train your mind every day. Because when your mind is in the right place, everything else becomes easier. So here are the 10 disciplines: attitude, communication, self-discipline, relationships, mindset, time management, knowledge, finances, personal development, and gratitude. Now, I want to go back to the idea I shared at the beginning, because this is the most important message I want you to remember. Success is not something big that happens one time. It is the result of small, simple actions that you repeat every day. In the same way, failure is not one big mistake. It is small, wrong decisions repeated again and again. Take a moment and be honest with yourself. Look at these 10 areas. Which ones are you practicing every day? And which ones are you ignoring? The ones you ignore may not look important today, but over time, they grow quietly in the background. For example, if you ignore your time, you waste hours every day. If you ignore learning, you stop improving. If you ignore your mindset, you stop believing in yourself. These small things become bigger problems later. But the good news is this: the same process also works in a positive way. Small good actions, repeated every day, also grow over time. So don't try to change everything at once. That is too difficult, and most people give up. Instead, choose one discipline, just one. For example, you can start with time management. Tomorrow morning, choose one important task and finish it first. Or you can start with learning. Spend 10 minutes learning something new. Or you can start with English. Speak one sentence every day. Do it today. Then do it again tomorrow. Then the next day. After some time, it becomes easier. It becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, you don't need to force yourself anymore. After 30 days, you can add one more discipline. Slowly, step by step, you build a better version of yourself. You are not trying to change your whole life in one day. You are changing one small decision at a time. And these small decisions become habits. And these habits become your identity. The person you want to become is not far away. That person is just one good decision closer than yesterday. So start today. Thank you for listening. Goodbye for now.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional video that we thoughtfully selected for you.